Following your stake here with my review of the S100 blaster. This is a Chinese-made and designed blaster that is basically kind of a Longshot competitor with a monstrous plunger tube. It is a pump action as well as bolt action springer. It does have a bolt right up here up front, and it has a full plastic construction with metal internals. It is not 3D printed, it is injection molded, and it is available through two different retailers, which I'll actually talk about a little bit more as we get into the video. So here we go. The S100 has a number of things about it that we really have to touch on. The fact is that when it first came out, people thought it was going to introduce a weird dart variant, and that might be because of the magazine. It's got a weird size to it, but it does take regular half-length darts. That's what I've been testing it with, is the Adventure Force Pro half-lengths. They do fit in there with a little extra space. There's like an extra quarter-inch in there, but trust me on this, as well as if you have already watched Drax's video, he reviewed the Monkey Mods version. This is the Zhenduo Toys version. Same company makes them, but the retailers have spec'd out their perspective blasters a little differently. And some of those differences are that the Zhenduo Toys version, as you can see here, Drax's Monkey Mods version had a different lower color. It was like a smoke black on top of with the clear upper part of the shell, and he had red anodized internals, whereas I have blue anodized on the Zhenduo Toys version. Now, Zhenduo Toys is the retailer. They sent this to me for free in exchange for a review, and well, by the time we get to it, they may not have wished to send it to me, but I do thank them for sending it, because it gave me a chance to review this for you guys when I would not have spent my own $175 on this. So, spoiler? Yeah, spoiler. But this is, of course, a pump-action, spring-powered, half-dart firing, magazine-fed blaster that, with the spring I am running, and yes, you're hearing spring rattle, I'm running a 25N spring that I had for a Prophecy build, because I broke my own cardinal rule of changing the configuration that it was set to, because when they sent, this is the spring that came in it. Yeah, it's so thin, my camera is actually having an issue picking it up against the background. This spring is so weak, and it's so inconsistent, I was averaging between, I had shots dropping all the way down into the 48 foot per second range and hitting up to 115. Averaging 98 feet per second with the included spring, which thankfully, this is not the only spring you have as an option when you buy the Monkey Mods version. As Drax shown, it had two springs in, and Monkey Mods clearly states this on their listing on their website, that there are two springs included in the package, and I highly recommend only installing the better spring if you were to get this blaster from Monkey Mods. Zhenduo Toys sells that spring separately, and we're going to get more onto that. It's an actual spring you have to purchase for $10 in addition to buying the blaster. So that's strike one. And strike two is the differences in the actual blasters themselves. Like I said, this is the case of, I used to work on motor scooters a lot, and different retailers could go to the exact same factory in China and have a product spec'd out differently. Hadn't seen it in blasters yet, but in motor scooters you could have one company, one factory in China making 6 different brands, and each of the different brands, they said, we want chrome mirrors, or we want plastic color matched mirrors on our motor scooters. We want ours to be a retro plastic look. We want a sport look. All in the same frame. Well, here's a case of this blaster. Actually, through Monkey Mods and through Zhenduo Toys, we have two different builds. I already mentioned that Drax had a slightly different look to the shell, but he had also the red anodized internals with and if you check on Monkey Mod's website, they have not only the aluminum anodized plunger tube, breech, and barrel, along with the metal priming bar that's internally kept here. They also have a red anodized plunger rod and plunger head combination, as well as red anodized sling points. Now those are nice, because The Zhenduo Toys version has a clear plastic plunger rod plunger head combo and orange plastic sling points that look too underbuilt to be used. So that's the second stripe. So this is slightly inferior in its internal componentry and exterior accessories. But moving on. Actual performance with the 25N, I have gotten an average of about 246 feet per second with a very nice consistency between 244 to 248 feet per second. So upgraded spring is absolutely essential. If I remove the muzzle, I will show you this actually has a very good seal. So very good seal. So that is not the issue. And when I climb it, you actually get a glimpse of that clear plastic plunger rod. The spring was the issue, not the build. Which about the build was actually very nice and straightforward to do. It came with both a blueprint style schematic and a picture instructions, which kind of reminded me of the Lego sets that I put together as a kid. You know, where it would show these couple parts go on here, next picture shows those parts installed plus a couple more, so on and so forth, starting from all the way to the assembling the internals, all the way to finally, you know, the whole blaster being put together. And it's actually held together by a very, very nice pinch through bolt system. You have a large bolt that goes all the way through the shell and is then threaded into by a small Allen head type machine screw that actually goes together like that, and that pinches the shell halves together at all of the different points where you see them. There is no threading of screws into plastic to hold the shell together. This is actually a far superior assembly construction type than, you know, just screws going into the plastic, because say for instance on the Colonel Wasp Firefly, those screws going into the plastic, of course, strip the plastic out, or, you know, worst case scenario, if you have, you know, plastic that's not pre-drilled, it could even split it. So this is far, far superior. The stress is going into, you know, from one metal component into another, instead of into plastic. So I can give them kudos for that. And the manufacturer of it is who is to be given that thumbs up. And the manufacturer is Zenwiki. I'm butchering it. I'm guaranteed I'm butchering it, but that is that is them right here. Take a look at that. If somebody can pronounce it, good on you. I'm not fluent in Chinese. But the blaster overall, with the 25N spring in it, is how I am reviewing it. I don't have the exact spring that Monkey Mod sends, and it's obviously a little bit better suited to this because, like, Drac was getting up in the 270, 280 foot per second range. He believed. I'm getting just under 250. But that's because this is a Prophecy spring. This is not specifically made for this blaster. It's just what I had that was the best suited for me to get a better test, because otherwise this was going to be a totally negative review if I had to stick with this thing. So keep that in mind. The upgraded spring is mandatory. Now let's get on to my conclusion. Function of the blaster is good. Smooth priming, great ergonomics. You have the choice to use it with the bolt action if you want to, and yes, you can pull that with, even with a good spring in it. You can pull it with just a hooked index finger. Easy. It's, you know, as mine is, it's very smooth. I actually love the build of it. It's good construction, good quality. The only issue is where to buy it. And I'm going to have to say, despite the fact that this was sent to me free of charge for review by Zhenduo Toys, I'm not going to recommend you purchase it from them. I'm going to say, get the Monkey Mods variant. Monkey Mods is a well-established company with a good track record, and in this case, this is $175 on Zhenduo Toys website. It's $150 on Monkey Mods, so already at $25 difference. Then factor in the fact that you have to pay an additional $10 to get the upgraded spring that comes with the Monkey Mods version. So now you're looking at $185 from Zhenduo Toys compared to $150 Now, that's $35 difference, and that's still not counting the fact that you get the alloy plunger rod, plunger head combination, and the alloy sling points on the Monkey Mods version. And those are parts that, you know, if you've ever built a Longshot or a Retaliator and you've gotten a alloy plunger rod, they're not cheap. You know, that's, if that was to become available as a separate accessory, it's probably going to be $20 or more, because that's the typical pricing of alloy internal parts. So then you'd be pushing the price of this from Zhenduo Toys. If you factor in those upgrades, this would be over $200 compared to $150. And the notable good reputation of Monkey Mods comes into play, where I can easily recommend going for the blaster from them. I do thank Zhenduo Toys for sending this to me, but I can't recommend it from them because of the fact that it's a slightly inferior version at a higher price. And Zhenduo Toys is a far newer company to deal with as a retailer than Monkey Mods. And Monkey Mods has great communication so far, and Zhenduo Toys may become that, but as of now, I can't recommend them selling this product over Monkey Mods. Monkey Mods is cheaper and better. So that's an easy recommendation. If you like the look of this blaster, which, I mean, it is comfy, it works well once you put in a good spring, and I could see myself absolutely running this at higher FPS wars. But I certainly couldn't run it with this. And that's the only spring that it came with. So I want to note that it's a different review than normal for me. And I am actually recommending the blaster, but I'm not recommending it from who sent it to me. I'm recommending it from their competitor. That's probably going to cease all... That'll probably cease all communications from Zhenduo Toys towards me, and I'm sure I won't get anything else to review, but so be it. I'd rather be honest than to get free stuff. But still, who doesn't like free stuff? So I do thank them for sending this to me, and hopefully they appreciate an honest review, and we'll go from there. But if you've stayed to the end, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you like it, I will put the link to Monkey Mods listing in the description of the video. Yeah, that's weird, but that's how I'm going to do it. Blaster's fine. Monkey Mods is the place to get it. So, till next time, Smongus Jake with my review of the CRS 100 blaster. Thanks for watching.